the Celeste cast.
Oh my god.
Get in
The Celeste SMR.
What are you gonna do? Fight me?
Yeah.
I'll win because I'm good at competition.
I'm gonna bass boost that. I'm gonna.
If I can.
One of
Deep
the
fry that crap.
One of the only consistent complaints that we've received from our listeners is
Shut
like,
the
hey,
fuck up.
modulate that one, but
Please
also
don't talk
modulate
anymore.
your audio a little more. I'm listening to this with my headphones in, and holy shit, some of the things need to be pitched down.
At Hunter.
At Hunter. He'll be on the show. He can take it up with us personally.
I can't edit. He's not gonna sit here and edit it with you.
Yeah, he is.
No.
Oh,
but-
you mean yell? Okay, yeah, you're right.
he can yell at us. He'd be like, "Hey guys, happy to be on the show. Can you fucking turn down?"
Turn down your fucking Moose remix.
He's just berating us the entire
Oh
episode.
my god!
Honestly, I think we need that.
Yeah.
This week, I challenge you guys to shut the fuck up.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. So it's still a 2-hour episode somehow.
I'm gonna die saying dumb shit.
Alright, so we decided to get our Celeste talk out of the way early this ep.
You saved about a half hour.
Saved about a half hour. Later on.
These splits are gonna be crazy.
Nah, I competed in a Celeste tournament, so you guys are gonna have to listen to me talk about that.
Welcome to Please Don't Listen to This, Your Life Depends on It. Each week we take an experience or piece of media and we all try it out. It's something recommended by one of us that the rest of us have not done or have not focused on. And this week it was George's app. George, what did you put us through?
I made you guys get off your asses. No,
That I did it wrong.
So this week I had everyone go into a competition of some sorts. So whether it be a video game competition, maybe like pickup game of basketball,
Contest of some kind.
some type of contest, maybe like challenge someone to Mortal Kombat, but like actually kill them.
It's only fair.
Yeah,
Only
no for real death matches because we are mostly cowards.
Yeah,
but that's
Unfortunately, nobody took the invite to the Kumite, so we won't be able to talk about that.
Yeah.
I heard Jean-Claude Van Damme was there though.
Yeah,
I think he won it.
Unfortunately, I received my invitation in the mail late, and by that I mean I did not receive it at all. They did not want me there because they didn't want to see me get kicked in the dick and then bleed out.
Yeah, they said I was 168th seed, and that I'd be my first match is against the best guy. So that's pretty.
Wait, real quick,
honorary.
what do you think your seed is in the entire on the
on Earth?
Yeah.
I'm definitely somewhere in like the deep billions. I'm
I'm above
I'm a
every
low
14-year-old on the planet Earth.
No,
Really?
No, not all of them. There are some.
About
4 million?
About
4 billion.
88%.
Not 4 billion.
I think I'm top 20%. Yeah, right.
I am right underneath those really shredded beagles that they made with genetic engineering.
Wait, are we talking about dogs? Too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, no,
I thought we
they're
were
so
talking
good
about
they get into the
seagulls.
human. Oh god. All right. So yeah, George, you had us compete. We're going to talk about that in the second segment of the show. If you want to throw it to somebody, we can start off with the weeks. We're going to try and keep it brief. Stick to one thing that we did this week.
We'll start with your week. I feel like you haven't gone first before.
I feel like he does every other week.
Oh, does he? No, I don't know. Well, we'll start it out with Nick.
All right. This week. Well, I'm going to cut this out. But Cam, are you going to talk about Tommy for your week? Because I'll talk about something else. I have other stuff that I got.
I started
A little inside
Cowboy
baseball here.
Bebop. Yeah, you could
Alright.
talk about Tommy.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so I have been reading another series from one of my favorite manga authors and artists ever, Junji Ito. Junji Ito does horror manga. He does exclusively horror manga, pretty much, and it is
He did that one that everybody knows, the image from "This Is My Hole, It Was Made for Me," where
Yes,
the guy's
that's
climbing
the one.
into a silhouette of himself in a wall.
That story, by the way, is called The Enigma of Amigara Fault, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It's pretty easy to find online. I think there's an Imgur album with the whole thing floating around.
That's actually how I read it.
It's just great because I own it. You could have just asked me and I would have given it to you.
I didn't know
Yeah,
you
that's the
owned
worst
it
part.
at the time.
Could I borrow it?
Yeah.
What,
Is it a
Imgur?
physical copy?
Yeah, I do have a physical copy of it.
It's actually right there
No, it's not.
for our listeners.
That was
Yeah.
Uzumaki.
That's
It's
the
on
other
the
one.
green chair.
It's in the back of Gyo, which I also have.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, there are a couple of short stories in the back of his big volumes. Anyway, this guy, he excels in like horror that is. So, it's sometimes very psychological, but most of the time it's meant to really unnerve you. It's not meant to like produce like a like that kind of feeling, like the like repulsed from the page kind of thing. But like you think about it, and it makes your skin crawl.
That's
and
good.
That's it's a really.
that's really interesting.
He's got
Yeah, a lot of
a
anime
very
makes me do
specific
that.
Anime in general, anime fans.
the Digito collection maybe do that. But
I feel like that's what horror should do.
this particular story is called Tomi. It's a big volume collecting stories about a girl who is cursed.
Tommy Laren.
Yeah. Tammy.
I mean, I wish honestly, because this girl, there are mysterious circumstances surrounding her death, and then she keeps coming back, and every time she's
So it's
coming back,
Dark Souls fanfic.
every time she's coming back, they someone tends to fall in love with her, and that person gets an obsession with her, and then they eventually end up killing her.
Oh.
So that doesn't sound like it would be a very scary story, but like the way that she comes back, the ways that she comes back from being killed, and the ways that people get entranced by her spell, like it's all very unsettling.
For one quick example, she dies and then her organs get donated to someone who needs them, and then in this case it's a spleen. The spleen inside the donor starts to grow into a fetus and like grows into a new Tomi
Ew.
and
Yeah.
bursts out of the stomach during the
And
operation.
the person lives?
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Because
they
she's
probably
in a
just walk it
hospital
off.
when the spleen is growing into a
Yeah.
new Tomi, so they're like, well shit, we gotta operate on her and get this out.
Perfect place to
Yeah.
to happen.
Yeah, my new spleen
it's
is
gonna be
kicking.
anyway.
Yes, but that reaction that your joke just produced for me is the perfect kind of thing for a Junji Ito story. Where
And that's
it's
one of
like-
the more gross ones. There's some, less gross.
There
but
are some
still
less
scary.
Yeah, there are some less gross ones that are still scary and like unsettling. But he also does ones that are way more gross than they are unsettling, and I think that that's also a part of it. But it's something. It's just a kind of story that I haven't really seen very often. It's like, it's a horror story where there is a lot less going on about like a monster that's trying to kill you, or like this thing will drive you crazy, or it's a ghost. But like, but those things you can produce like this feeling of fear in somebody without necessarily going for something that's been done like a million times before.
It's hard to do a jump scare in a book.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
Part of what makes it.
You have to work at it. In a comic book that you can control the pace that you read this at. If you like something scary is about to happen, you can close it right there and just like put it down and read something
Alex
else.
and I were talking about this last night.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's how I played
That's
Dead
why
Space.
people like books, because they don't turn off.
Yeah.
Like,
They're always on.
they're always on.
Yeah.
That is actually how I play Dead Space, though. I pause it every few seconds because I know there's going to be a jump scare.
You just pause buffering the whole game.
I'm literally
One frame at a time,
He's
baby.
building up speed for 12 hours, gonna clip right through the wall, get to the end. But I really enjoy this, and I highly recommend it. It's super cheap on Amazon. I think it was like $20 for a giant volume, and it really frequently goes on sale for cheaper. So if you like creepy stories about undead ghost girl curses, this one's for you.
Whoa.
Seb, how was your week?
So my week in general was just a week. The main thing that happened was my family came up from Maryland. This is my oldest brother, and his wife, and my nephew for my nephew's 5th birthday. And he specifically wanted to come up here for his birthday so he could see me and my younger brother, so he could boss us, which means tell us what the fuck to do. And
Hey, your 5-year-old nephew's a dom?
basically that's what I tried not to let him. Yeah.
I don't want him to hear that.
Oh, man.
He's 5.
God,
He's not gonna hear
I
it.
fucking hope 5-year-olds aren't listening to our podcast. Hey, if you're a 5-year-old listening to this podcast, cover your ears.
Send us an email.
Yeah, weird.
Come on the show.
5-year-olds know what my emails are. Text us.
Come on the show.
I'm
Text,
sorry, Seth.
text, please don't to 55682.
Whoa, we got the 55682.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But-
hard to get.
So we had a little birthday party for him on Saturday, and it was mostly just family and a couple of friends of Evan and Jen. And he's just so cute. He has so much energy just running around all day. And by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed. Like, even by halfway through the day, I'm like, good night.
Wait, are you fucking telling me that parenting is hard?
Fuck that.
Even
Put him in a
aunting
cage.
is hard. Being an aunt with whose nephew loves you so much. I did his birthday cake. I drew a princess riding a dinosaur, which is what he wanted.
Very
He thought that
cute.
was the coolest thing in the world. And so he decorated the birthday cake.
Is it dumb?
Now we
Okay.
can't cut it out. It's been said twice.
I'll say it again later in the show too.
It's gonna become a mainstay of the show. Big,
Yeah, I was saying that. So we did his cake, and all he wanted on the cake was the only 2 pieces he wanted were the princess's head and the dinosaur's head. He didn't even
Same.
eat them both. Like, he didn't even finish one piece of cake.
Oh my God.
Stupid idiot.
I can't finish one piece.
Yeah, but
all right.
Wow.
he's
Okay.
the greatest, and I love him.
All right, we're done.
Yeah.
Podcast is over.
I can't believe that's your cutoff
Yeah.
on all the dumb shit that's been said
Yeah.
on this
My
show.
5-year-old wants to eat the princess's head. So.
Yeah.
5-year-old Dom, specifically.
thought we were.
She's gonna reveal that his name is actually Dominic,
Yeah.
and we're all
Yeah.
gonna feel like idiots.
It's
I
not,
thought she was going
but
to reveal
maybe
the
it should
princess
be.
was dressed in leather or something.
Oh.
Really confirmed.
That would be
it.
sick.
No, she was supposed
Oh,
to
yeah.
be Rapunzel-like,
Oh, okay.
so she's definitely not dressed in leather.
Legally distinct from Rapunzel.
She looks a little bit like a knockoff
Oh.
Rapunzel,
Uh-huh.
but enough different that she's just
Yeah, like
kind
her
of
hair is
generic.
short instead of long.
No, it's very long. Not as long.
Her leather
Ken, what the
width is
fuck
super
did you
long.
do this week?
Oh, I started. Well, I had started it before, but I really committed to a little-known show called Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I've never heard of
Yeah,
that.
what's that about?
It's like Naruto, but it's in space instead.
Oh.
They go to like space school.
I can't believe
Whatever.
Seb is the one that broke on that. She's the most aggressively
I meant it's
angry.
like Naruto
No.
because people drew it and then they
Yeah.
animated it.
And the main guy's a ninja.
Yeah, it's like Naruto because there was a
Sasuke's
manga
there.
first, right?
Oh
I thought
god.
it was like Naruto because they both stole that one Bruce Lee game of death fight.
They
Sure,
did?
cutting that. No.
Anyway, for people who don't know what that show
I was
is,
gonna say they fought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. All right, sorry, I'm done.
It's one of the most influential and famous anime
Spike does
of
fight
the
Kareem
past,
Abdul-Jabbar.
what, 20 years?
Yeah, it's like the
It's-
anime.
It's
with-
over 20 years old now. So
Anime
it's over 20.
cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah, because after that, people were like, "Wait, adults can like anime?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it started. I mean, for the U.S., it starts airing on Adult Swim, and everyone's like, "Whoa,
Yeah, it's
what?" And apparently, because it was so adult in heavy air quotes, they aired it on like the 2 a.m. slot in Japan, so no one gave a shit about it. But in the
Adult Swim,
West,
they just edited Faye out, so that's to her. She's just not there.
so yeah, it's a show. In
Yeah,
space.
so it's a ragtag group of bounty hunters in space. I'm not going to explain everyone's origin or whatever, but it's
So try to explain Faye just real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
Faye was
luck.
and
he hasn't seen the whole show
I'm not
yet.
there yet. I didn't know that. But
Classic Seb, huh?
spoilers.
Classic
Well, no,
Seb.
it's fine. Now I don't have to
No,
finish
if you cut that out of the podcast, you'll cut it out of real life.
Cut it out of my life, please. Nick, edit out my
Edit
life.
in the podcast, edit it in real life.
Yeah,
I really
so
wish you guys
I
would
think
stop
I'm on,
bringing
like,
up things that I cut out of the show.
episode like 7 or something. I'm not
Yeah.
really that far in, but when I first started it, I was like, oh, I don't like the character of Spike. Kind of bothered me because I just started the show.
He's
because
too cool for school.
I was literally, I don't like
so
characters that are the
cool.
coolest and the best and they win all the time. But then, if you watch one more episode, they lose it in every consecutive episode. Which
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah, he
So-
kind of gets the shit kicked out of him a lot.
Yeah, like a lot. And even when they win, they still lose, which it helps.
he gets
because
the
I
shit
don't-
kicked out of him in episode 1.
Yeah, but
But he still wins.
right. Yeah, it's like so.
Then by episode 2, they have the easiest objective in the world, and they screw it up
Yeah.
by accident a ton of times.
But still, even though it's just the base thing of like guy who learned all the karate, so now he can punch everyone the best is not a cool. It's not a good.
He could punch everyone that doesn't know what they're doing the best, and then somebody's like, "Hey, I shot a gun once," and he gets clipped on the shoulder. And
Yeah,
falls
'cause he
down.
can't punch a bullet, I guess. But yeah, so I don't really like that part of it. But I really like the spaceship design. I like the universe that they're building up. I like the what's that guy's name? Jet. What's
Yeah.
the other
Jet's
guy?
yeah.
I like Jet.
probably
He's cool.
that.
Jet
actually
is
the coolest.
probably my favorite.
I
Yeah.
like the dog. I like it's
Oh,
it's
the dog's
a
the
fun
coolest.
show. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cute.
I don't know if you know this. I'm sure Nick knows this. But the reason Bebop exists is because I believe it was Bandai approached Watanabe and was like, you can make whatever you
Yeah,
want
make cool
as
ships.
long as we can sell toys of the spaceships.
Yeah. And then he's like, fine, here's one. And then
It's
he's like, fuck
1.5
you.
spaceships.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't
love
even
that.
Are there
deliver on
even
his
any,
basic
any
requirements.
toys of the spaceships?
I think there were.
I'm sure the Swordfish had a bunch.
There's
Yeah.
probably one
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
$5,000 one.
I can think of
Yeah.
Swordfish,
three
that's
extremely
like-
influential
I
shows
really
that were
like that
made
one.
because somebody was mad that the show they made had to have toys.
Yep. Yeah, but it's really cool, and I'm enjoying it. I'll probably try and see it through, knowing it's only
How far?
26 episodes. I'm on like episode 7 or something.
Okay.
I'm pretty early on,
Yeah.
but
I haven't
I'm really
finished
starting to
it.
dig it. I like how episodic it
Great.
is. The music's amazing.
Oh,
Mostly it's the episodicness of it.
Have you seen the Fridge episode?
I think that's
Fridge
episode 4, right?
No.
Where they...
That's
it's a
what-
big alien reference. So if you haven't gotten
No,
that,
no, it's
no.
way later
Yeah.
because Ed's
It's
on the show.
definitely
by the
way
time
later,
it
yes.
happens.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
have a bunch of Ed pins on my bag, which is
Maybe
why
it's like
I'm
14
yeah.
then.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
The
Bye.
fridge episode.
I
Yeah.
It's not
love
Naruto.
that. The fridge episode is great. When you get to it, you're gonna
Yeah.
really.
The crew is
I love
just
They
Spike,
reference it in
Jet,
Space Dandy, too.
Ein, and Faye
It's the same
right now.
monster, I
That's
think.
it.
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
So
that's
one
where I'm
more joins.
at. Yeah. Okay. But it's
And-
really fun. I'm
yeah.
probably gonna finish it out.
Cool.
George, what are you doing this week?
I've had a week of debauchery. I pretty much have just been like out partying. It was fun though. Saturday, so my hometown friends and I had a going away party for a friend's roommate. And that was, even though it was someone else's going away party, like we don't know him
You
personally.
needed an excuse to throw down.
Well, exactly. And mainly my friends from home went, and it was kind of funny, but also kind of I was like, oh, we're kind of douchebags.
We're
But
crashing this guy's going away party.
well, he
No,
knows
it's-
us.
no, yeah,
he knows
The
us.
more the merrier, usually. I
it's-
think.
That's true. But like half the time, it was just like, man, I'm gonna miss you, man. I'm gonna hit this phone real quick though. And then, and it was super fun. That's probably I'm gonna say the second most fun I've had at a party ever. There's one party I went to where like I don't know if anything could top it because it was great because I didn't get too drunk, but I was always at that middle level.
You were in the zone.
I was in the zone. This party I was also at the middle level, but we had an adult slip and slide, which put it up top real fast until the second I slid on it, I smacked my head. And
Wait, so an
Ouch.
adult slip and slide, that's like has porn on it, right?
yeah. No. Dom's only. I'm not going to further that joke.
Right.
So
You can guess why.
Subs are still valid.
Oh my god.
we gotta lube it up before we slide.
boy.
Forget it. I'm bailing out on it. But it was super fun. I enjoyed it immensely. I highly recommend adult slip and slides. They're super fun. It was like it was like 30, maybe 50 feet. Or no, that's a big difference. But it was probably like 30 feet if I had to guess. My
I'm
neck
just
is
thinking of that in terms of like if a person was that tall and thinking like
Wow.
30 feet to 50 feet is a giant.
Giant
It's
difference.
like a massive difference.
But it was so much fun. I can't explain it entirely, but I also just yesterday hung out in Mesquamaket like all day. We went to my girlfriend's friend's family's beach house, and that was super fun. That was my first time at that beach in like 4 years, and or at least a restaurant near there. It was like we went to a restaurant which I hadn't been to in 4 years, and it was funny just to like think where I was 4 years ago because
What was that one that we went to? Did they give you a wristband if you wanted to drink at it?
no,
Oh,
we were
yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah.
Andrea.
Oh, it was like nice.
It was,
Yeah, that was it. That was a shithole.
It was
Yeah.
alright. Oh, there's also a bar called the Windjammer, but I don't know if I got to go.
Nice.
And there's an
If
arcade
we bring
there.
our frisbee, do you think we'll be
Get
able to?
Did they have
We should.
windjammers at the arcade?
I don't remember going. I don't
There's
think
no way
we
that place
did.
is a fucking Neo Geo swap
They,
in, swap
they
out.
do
in there.
have a lot of arcade games apparently.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
I had a
So you debauchery. You got drinking. You got beaching. You got
Slip and slide.
gaming.
slip and
sliding.
sliding.
This is a commercial.
Being completely honest.
We've been sponsored this episode by visitrhodeisland.com. Please visit Rhode Island. The tourism board
It's so
has,
small. Give
It's
it
so
an
small.
hour. You'll be done.
Yeah.
In and out.
Drive
Come
right
on.
through.
There's a lot of beaches. You
In and
can't
out.
get into any of them. You
Spend
can't pronounce
$20
any of their names.
at a toll booth in
Look,
Rhode Island.
You've heard of Delaware, right? It's like Delaware, but good.
Also,
But not shit. Yeah.
if you really don't like your
We have
car,
so few listeners. They ask us to do one thing, and we're like, no. Hey, could you stop shitting on Delaware and fix your audio? And we're just like, shut
Will
up.
not.
you gotta choose. You can't have both.
Or either.
But yeah, no. Basically, my weekend in a nutshell: slip and slides are fucking sick, and I need to control my drinking.
I can't believe those are the same story.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they flow pretty naturally into each other.
Yeah. Just like Alex this week and George this week.
Yeah, my week was me playing one video game. So,
Was it Celeste?
no.
What?
It's not Celeste. I have been playing Metal Gear Solid 5 pretty much all week.
Yeah, baby.
I still haven't played it, and I had it for free. I have it for free.
I bought it for $20. Or for $10, I think. But,
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, 20 is good too.
yeah.
For the amount of time you can put into this game,
Yeah.
it's really...
It's very good so far. I played all of the other Metal Gear Solid games, so this is kind of my last holdout. I was hesitant because I heard the story wasn't good, but the only other thing I had consistently heard was that the gameplay is among the best of the series, and I fucking agree. It's so much fun just to stealth around and do things, more so than most of the other games in that series.
What are your feelings about the story?
It's fine. I haven't gotten through all of it yet.
Mhm.
But,
Have you picked up Huey yet? I know you were talking about how you...
Yeah. Oh, I've seen the credits roll once. I'm just doing all
yeah,
the other
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So.
And that's
right, you were
because-
complaining about the final
yeah,
boss. I should have known.
Because when the credits roll, you're really only 75% of the way done.
Which is weird, because you would think it would be like, oh, I'm halfway done, maybe, if they want to do a post-game thing, or I'm all the way done if it's one of those games where that's all that's there.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh, it just okay.
Yeah.
And then immediately after the credits, they just cut to a sizzle reel of all of the interesting stuff that should have happened in the game that you see later because of post game stuff. But it was really weird. It's fun just seeing characters that I have gotten familiar with in the prequel games and know where they become in the sequel games.
Yeah, it's like a weird midquel in the Metal Gear Solid series.
It's
where
really
like,
fun because I know where Big Boss came from, and I know what happens to him, and I know where what the deal with Ocelot is and Liquid and seeing
Did you
all
see
of them.
Liquid being like a child soldier?
Yeah.
Oh god, we were talking about that on the way back from
Yep.
pizza
Liquid's
earlier.
the biggest piece of shit.
He's a shitty kid. It's
Yeah.
like this guy becomes the main villain of one of the most important games in the series, and the thing that happens is just like. It's like, oh man, the White Mamba. He's the most dangerous. He's radicalizing all these children. They're child soldiers, and they have forced everyone out of this area. They're in an abandoned shipyard. Snake, you got to go in there, or Big Boss, you got to go in there and take care of it. And so you go in there, and it's a shitty, long-haired, blonde 11-year-old in a jacket that's too big for him, and he's sitting in a folding chair like he's King Shit of Fuck Mountain with one
Jacket
knife.
says, never be game over.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was what I wanted to be the name
cool.
of this podcast.
But yeah, it's really fun so far. There's a lot of really fun shenanigans you can do with the gameplay. My favorite story so far, I had to rescue a prisoner. He was on this convoy of armored vehicles and stuff. So he was in the back of a Jeep, and I had to rescue him. And there was an armored vehicle that was escorting the car. So I walk in front of the path of the car, put 3 C4 down, blow up the armored vehicle, attach a balloon to the back of the car, and just send it up. And that's the mission.
Nice.
And it was just the most satisfying thing ever. No one saw me, and I abducted a whole car full of people.
That's a guy you don't fuck with.
Yeah.
Kidnapping people with balloons is like, how do you get people to join your army? Well, marketing and kidnapping.
Yeah, you kidnap them and then interrogate them until they break. But yeah, it's very good so far. I'm looking forward to finishing up the rest of it.
All right. So we are going to take a quick break, and we are going to be right back with competing.
Yeah, and I'm gonna win.
Oh no,
We're gonna
you
win
think
the
you're gonna
second
win?
segment.
Cam's bluffing real hard.
I mean, he'll win over me. I'm
You
gonna
can,
lose.
you can see it on his face. Oh, you have to have the will of the warrior, Seb.
I don't know.
Sounds good in Ohio.
All right, we'll
I'm
be
a
right
broken
back.
man.
That's what.
What about Peter Pan?
Oh, in that case.
All right.
Oh, I did watch The Shape of Water.
All right,
Is that fairy tale related?
That's good.
This is the podcast alarm. This is the please stop playing Switch alarm and return to the podcast.
Never.
Listeners, this alarm does not apply to you if you're playing Switch. Please continue.
Check out Celeste.
Check out Celeste, Enter the Gungeon, and
Super Mario
and Hollow
Odyssey.
Knight.
Sponsor us, Nintendo.
So George, you want to give a quick intro to the concept of competing, because I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Okay. So basically, the reason I wanted this week to be about competing is I just recently came to terms with the fact that I am deep down a competitive person. Which when I was younger, I kind of like resented like competitive mentalities, and I thought it was dumb to like why would you want to win when you could just have fun? Until I was like, fuck, dude, winning's real
Until you
fun.
win once and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, no, this is fun.
I also I looked back at it, and I remember I used to play Dead or Alive 4 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good game. It was pretty fun.
It's probably still good. I have no frame of reference here.
It was pretty fun though, and I played it a lot. And I also played like Tekken growing up, and a lot of first-person shooters against like my family and stuff. And one example in particular, I was like maybe 14-ish, and I was playing Dead or Alive 4 with all my family, and I was the best of the family for a little while, until my cousin Brandy, yes, a girl,
What?
started playing, and she was using the character. I think she was using Ayane, who was the purple-haired ninja, and she beat my ass like 5 times in a row online, and I was just like fucking livid. And then this is the first time I've ever had to like actually grind. I knew about it. People tell me they try to practice and stuff, and I was just like,
You're like,
I'm
practice
just
is
good.
I don't need to, yeah.
I usually, even to this day, I have a pretty bad like work ethic at practicing, because once I figure something out, I'm like, yeah, and now I know, okay, which is not good. Probably why I'm sticking at the same level in Melee for so long. But so basically, what happened was I learned how to play the game more and more. I played it for like a week straight, and then I called my cousin, and I was like, get online.
Quit your fucking job, dude.
I just called her. I was like, get online. Ended up winning, but it was close. But I was sweating. But I was happy that I won. I like competing. I'm sure that you guys have done some type of competition in the past. But I like hearing about other people's experiences with competition, their mentality. That's the biggest thing, is like your mindset and mentality. Like, how'd you feel before you went in? How'd you feel while you were there? How'd you feel after? That's pretty much what I want you guys to talk about. We could also talk about like the competition itself. Like, how did you do? Were you happy with how you did? All that.
Because not all of these are like directly against one another, in the sense that two people go in, one person leaves.
Yeah.
In 2 of our cases,
How do you
a lot of
view
people
yourself?
competed all at once.
How do you think that you performed?
Yeah.
Did you think that you performed as best as you could?
Competition's not a motivator for some people.
Yeah,
which is
I know.
weird to me. I don't understand that.
It's weird to me too.
Because I had a bit that I was gonna do. I almost did a drop like Cam did for the Chocolate Mousse episode for this, but I feel like I didn't want to take it from George's episode. But it went something like, since the dawn of man, when humanity was still rubbing the crust out of its eyes, when we were still fucking shit and eating dirt, we have seen that the other caveman had a bigger cave than ours, and we have wanted to own him.
Since one man had 2 sticks.
Since
and the
one
other
man
had
had
one.
Then the competition became, I can kill a bigger woolly mammoth than you.
Yeah.
And then it was, I can grow a longer beard than you. I can die of preventable diseases faster than you. That sort of
Says
thing.
you, dude. Fucking right.
You're on.
My
Competition
dad
has gone
beat your
under
dad.
many names. It has gone under sport. It has gone under e-sport. It has gone under colonialism. All of these things.
Crusade.
Crusade. These are all a result of mankind's desire to be better than someone else and rub it in their faces. And this sounds like a Spike TV ad, so I'm going to stop.
Quick thing though,
Yeah.
something that is weird to me, well not weird, something that I realized is the longer you compete in something, at some point it becomes, I want to do better than this person, and more so, I want to beat myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we'll
same.
have Cam start off. I know. Oh my god.
I think that's like every episode. Someone
Yeah.
makes a masturbation joke.
Yeah, check that off your
Highest
bingo card,
round.
listeners. Celeste reference, masturbation joke,
Joke.
Those are the
Really?
free spaces.
audio problem.
It's all free spaces.
So Cam, yeah, how was your experience competing?
Alright, so here's the thing. I either was going to say I want to go first or last because I did not enter a competition this week. I couldn't find anything. Most of my interests don't line up with. There's something I can Google and get into, which we talked about. We discussed this for a while. That's why this episode is coming out a week later than it was originally going to. And then I was just going to play. There is a competitive mode in Destiny. There's a regular PvP and then there's competitive where you can go on a losing streak. You are required to be at a certain expertise level and mic up and stuff like that. But our PS4 literally melted, so it couldn't fucking do it.
I didn't think
It was
about
supposed to be back, and then I couldn't do it. But
Yeah.
I'll just talk about my experiences in the past. With,
You're not going to talk about the cartoon caption contest you entered? I thought you were going to do
Oh
that.
fuck! Should I talk about that?
Are you telling me that you didn't do this for the show?
I didn't do that for the show.
You entered a contest and you didn't do it for the show.
Oh my
What the
god!
fuck?
After complaining
Jeez.
that I couldn't enter a contest, I entered one on accident, or not on purpose, but not for the show. Okay, so this is a revelation. I am a person who uses Tumblr, and you can bully me for that, but it's my
After the show.
preferred.
Will do.
It's
Cam
my
has blue hair and pimples everywhere.
Yep.
Cam's part of a fandom, in
Yeah.
quotes.
Nice.
Yeah, Cam, we're gonna link
Go
your
back
first
to
Sona.
Undertale.
Anyway,
Back to your super gulag.
you can please dunk on me for this, but it's my preferred place. It's where Twitter has some niche comedians on it, but Tumblr, there's some fucking wild stuff
Yeah.
in there where
I like Tumblr.
there are
Humor.
jokes have descended into just dirt.
Congratulations, you broke comedy down to its bare essentials.
Yeah, it's nothing anymore. It's meaningless and.
One of my favorite things on Tumblr was literally a picture of Mario in Odyssey when he's picking himself up off the ground and it looks like he's eating dirt. And
Yeah.
the caption just goes, herp slurp dirt.
Yeah.
And I was
That is-
that's gold.
That's comedy. That's
pretty
Tumblr
good.
So that's where I've ended up. And one person that I follow always, or it's a blog that is called Shitty New Yorker Captions, and every week they enter something in that could never be picked. It's profane, it's not funny, it's mean,
It's absurdist in a way that
it
doesn't
makes
make
no
any sense.
It's not highbrow at all. But first of all, I want to talk about how ridiculous this is that there's a contest for a New Yorker caption. So someone is hired at the New Yorker to draw a comic but not have a punchline for it. So they just draw its dumb shit and then be like, you do it. You finish it.
You figure out why this is
couldn't
funny."
even be bothered. This isn't funny, you make it funny. So the image that I follow someone who does that every week or whatever, whenever newspapers come out. I don't actually fucking know. But
They actually select, people will pitch comics to them every week.
Yeah.
And they'll
It
select
seems like they're
people.
drawn by the same dude every time, though.
Not necessarily. There's like a style
A
they
house
like.
style that they
Maybe it's
want.
just
Yeah.
like one dude just keeps winning. You know?
Yeah,
That would
that
be
does
crazy.
happen.
So
that does
fucking
happen.
good.
In fact,
And
one
they
of the
still
people
won't pay him.
who I
Yeah,
went
they
to
just
school with
won't
has
hire
gotten
him.
into the New Yorker
That's
doing
press
comics
for you.
multiple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
You're
go
working
to
for
them every week
exposure
and
anyway, right?
they'll
Yikes.
stockpile stuff and pick one.
Okay, so the one that I entered in, the image for our listeners is a Roosevelt Kite Park, which first of all is dumb. Like, is that a real place?
Yeah, gotta be.
Really?
Gotta
A
be.
park that's specifically for kites?
Yeah.
Whatever. Dumb. So anyway, so everyone's flying kites, but there's one guy who at the end of his string is what appears to be a kangaroo, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a dog. This terrible drawing. But,
I
and
read it as a dog.
yeah, it's the weird hind leg. It makes it look like it's a kangaroo.
I'm gonna make this the thumbnail for this
Oh,
episode.
that'd be good.
If anyone's seen that taxidermy cat who has been turned into a drone,
Yeah, I've seen it.
it looks like that.
It looks alive too.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
I'm gonna make that.
I'm gonna fucking die on air right now. That is horrendous. That's worse than a dog 5-year-old. Anyway, so there's one guy who's flying his dog in the kite park, and there's a police officer talking to him, and then it's like you make the joke. So my joke was the police officer speaking. You think because you have a leash on him, you're his master? He could destroy you with a flick of his wrist. Start begging, fool. And that's like they'll never put that in. They just won't. It's not funny. It's not
I think it's pretty
a
funny.
family oriented.
It's not a
joke.
family.
To be honest, I thought that was like I didn't understand what was going on. So you posted that in the Discord, and I thought that it was like something you actually pulled from somewhere because everyone was making the "you made this" joke.
I know, that's how I feel about the OC. We have an OC channel in our Discord, and
Original content.
For all the fantastic stuff we do.
yeah, whenever, but it's mostly used when someone accidentally posts in it. Like, if someone will post something that someone else made and be like, oh, whoop, wrong one. And George is showing me, alright, for our listeners, I'm being shown the taxidermied cat on 2 different phones right now from 2 separate
Yeah, Cam is being shown a cat drone in a pincer attack. They're coming at it from both sides.
But yeah, I thought it's not that I'm entering in to try and get into the New Yorker, which is why I didn't even consider it to be part of the podcast, because I wasn't entering in with the mindset of winning. But you're right, maybe I am entering in because I want to do it every week and see if I can come up with something funny.
And you've seen this guy, the guy who runs the blog of Shitty New Yorker quotes.
Yeah.
You see what he's doing, and you look at that, and you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, I could do this, is what I
Yes.
said.
Yeah.
Because it even gives you the font. The only thing is you can't save it as an image, so I had to screen cap it and then crop it. And that was the hardest part. Like, it's very... Oh, I also had to create a fucking account for the New Yorker. So the blog I follow, their caption for the guy flying his dog in the kite park was, "Oh, damn, very tight." Also very funny. It's just so easy. Like, but yeah. So now that we're done talking about that, should I even go on? Do you want to?
I mean, just like the idea of competing with these fuckers trying to get a New Yorker caption. Like, I can't even think of like
Something that'll
what-
never
what-
get in. Yeah.
No, I want to know what wins. Like, what milk toast?
I don't know. I should check out
like,
what wins.
dry white bread thing is gonna win. Is it
It's
gonna
probably
be
like, you can't walk your dog up there, sir, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
You should enter that in.
Yeah, enter that.
That's a little better, I guess.
I've heard of dog parks, but this is ridiculous.
No, you're supposed to say, sorry, the dog park was full. Because it's the kite park.
Oh, maybe that's the intended joke.
Yeah. Maybe, I wonder if they
But
lay
I don't
it
think
up
it's
for
a
you.
puzzle. I don't think it's you're supposed to win it
puzzle.
like...
I think he
Yeah.
writes a comic and then he deletes the caption.
Yeah.
And he's like,
This is the Miyazaki lore writing where you write a whole story and then you take some out. He's clearly very intelligent. He wants the reader to interpret things on their own, except somebody's going to write, "Oh, damn, very tight."
all right, but on the other end of this, just real quick to be more on topic with the episode.
That was on topic.
I guess it was on accident, but I wasn't, like George said, getting in the competitive mindset. Like,
You looked at that guy's "Oh, damn, very tight," and you're like, "God damn it, that's not a joke."
no, I like that joke.
Good joke.
I think it's great. I aspire to be as good as him. But so, I don't know if you guys know this about us, but some of us play fighting video games. George just mentioned a video game. It's a sequel to the
It's not a fighting game, though.
other game. Oh, right. It's more of a party game. Yeah. But anyway, so Nick and I used to play a lot of Street Fighter 4 and 5, and then Nick still plays 5, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the one I want to personally talk about.
Oh my god, yeah.
I liked playing that game, and I didn't think I was good at it, and I still don't, but playing against Nick all the time, sometimes we play against other people, like our other friends, but mostly I play against Nick, and I wouldn't get better at the game, I just know what Nick's gonna do. So I was not getting any better, but I would just remember, what to do when he does this. So
he's going to try and grab me.
Yeah.
Let me not get grabbed.
When about to get grabbed, do not. This was my flow chart. But so I would be like, oh, I want to play this game. I like it. Nick's not home. I want to get a little better. I'll go online. And I would literally get fucking destroyed every time. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Was there a rank system in that game?
There was. It was stupid.
It did not work or something because I was just getting dunked on. I should have been in the baby playground and I was up there with Justin Wong.
With the top dogs.
Yeah, I was in there.
You should have been in the baby playground and instead you were in the kite park.
I was in the kite. I was just up through that shit. I was up flying high with the other dogs. But yeah, I would just get destroyed, and it would totally ruin my morale. Like I would stop playing for months, and I would be like, "Why am I even doing this? It's not fun to go online and get destroyed. I don't know how to get better," and I would just get frustrated. And I personally, I'm not a competitive person. I don't like to, because I feel like I get in that mindset of like, "Oh, if I lose, then this defines me as bad." But if I never compete, then I'll never know for sure.
You can't lose.
That's literally my, that there's been stand-up competitions, but if I enter that and I don't win, then I'm not funny. Those are the rules.
The only way to win is
you
not
have
to play.
Exactly, and I'm winning.
This gets back to I'm sorry to bring it up again, but your
Oh,
attitude
no.
towards Celeste.
God damn it.
When you talked about it, we were talking about this game. This game kills you a lot. We were talking about, oh yeah, I got this many deaths on the level, and Cam is telling us why are you guys bragging about how many deaths you got? Doesn't it mean that you're bad if you got that many deaths? And we're
the game is about having fun.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
But if I'm not doing it perfect, what's the point?
Yeah, and we're trying to tell him yeah, it's telling you how many deaths you have so you can get better the next time.
Yeah.
Or so that you think it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get it next time.
Or look how far I've come. It took me this many deaths to get here, but I accomplished it anyway.
The main thing that I did.
Yeah, it's about not getting discouraged.
But but also I want to real quick mention all these stand-up competitions are total I think it's a total scam because you have to pay to get in and then you have to bring people. And then you have to come back for multiple rounds. So you're basically just paying them. And I'm 98% sure they're going to pick someone at the end that they know. And they're not going to pick some new guy, especially for a local competition.
Yeah.
And the pot that you'd win is always not worth the amount of
Seinfeld on DVD.
Yeah, it's fucking sucks.
It's a raffle.
Eventually I'll end up entering one of those, but it's gonna ruin me in the end. So.
Something I was thinking about doing for our next mini-sode, and listeners, you can tell us it's any good. Listeners, if you can tell us anything, I would love it. Listeners, come on the show. I was thinking about for our next mini-sode, since we did the last one on speedrunning, our next mini-sode could just be follow-ups, which is, have you continued anything from a previous show, and we can talk about it a little bit.
That'd be interesting.
That's deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I'm not a competitive person, mostly because I feel like I don't want to be defined as anything. It's the only way to win is not to play. That's my mindset.
That's really
frustrating. And I should get out of that. Yeah. You guys are I have to win, and I'm I'm already winning. By not competing, I'm the best in my mind.
I'll definitely say it's hard to get out of that mindset because there's been a lot of times in tournaments where it's
what's the point if I'm gonna go 0-2 or whatever?
Oh, not even that. There's been times where I went 5-2, and then I'm I'm so fucking bad, dude. They're oh, you got to losers finals. I'm nah, dude, I'm bad.
Yeah, but it was losers finals.
Yeah, exactly.
They're wow, you're really good, and you're yeah, but I didn't win. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if I'm good.
Yeah.
Do you want to which way do you want to go? Don't let Alex talk about which direction you're going.
I can go last.
Just point.
I can go last.
Okay, so
I have been last. The last time.
Okay, so let's keep it consistent.
Should I be last again?
Oh no! Why
I
don't
don't
you?
care.
Because we're gonna end on you anyway. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go. Why don't we
We're
just
gonna
skip
go- I don't
skip
give a
right to him?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Alex, you did
Hello.
some competing this week. You did one competing.
All right, I did about
You
1.5
see one?
competing.
Oh my god.
So my original plan was to play some Team Fortress 2 because that is a game that I have played competitively for a couple of years now. But the lobby site I used to get pickup games was super dead.
You logged in at 11 a.m. in North American time on a
Everyone's
weekday.
playing fucking Hammond.
On a weekday that was
weekday.
July 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's a good point.
But so I played a total of one lobby.
Oof.
And it was a European lobby.
Oof.
So they weren't celebrating their,
What?
their
Russia
loss.
#1.
But yeah, no, in a more general sense, because I have
Vodka.
played competitive TF2 before. That's something that I was really excited about when I got into it. It took me probably 3 or 4 years of playing that game regularly to even get into it.
You were on a team, sort of, right?
Yeah,
Or you had
I
a
played
group of people who you would play with.
Yeah, the way that competitive TF2 works, since it's all outside the game most of the time, it's through a league called UGC. They do a couple other games too, but they have different divisions and stuff. So I started playing at the lowest division, and throughout the years was able to work my way up to the second highest division. But it's a fun game to play competitively because it's very different from the pub experience. Because it's a lot faster paced and
People aren't all fucking playing engineer. And
yeah,
fucking
you
dickheads.
only play the most mobile classes, so it's
Oh, really?
It's 2 scout, 2 soldier, demo, medic.
Oh, that's
the
the
meta.
team?
Yeah, that's the meta.
Oh.
And then you off class to Engie or heavy if you want to defend last
I
point.
always thought, engineer was the way to... I always thought you have to have an engineer now.
You usually play 5 CP maps, which means that it's hard to get built.
Oh, yeah,
if
you're not
playing
setting
Engie.
up a
Yeah.
defense.
So you usually only do that when you're pushed back to last.
Huh.
But it's competitive TF2 is really fun because it's very frag heavy. It's a very high momentum game, and
I'm sorry, I was born in the year 2000. What's a frag?
What was a frag?
Can you still say that?
Oh my god.
you get a lot of kills if you're a damage class, and pretty much anybody can make big plays, which is why I like it, because I like being the guy who makes big plays.
You like getting those frags?
So I am a scout main, and he's a fast guy with a shotgun, and that is my archetype in any FPS game.
A heavy Boston accent too.
Yeah.
So I like to be the one who goes in there and gets those fat plays to make the big difference. And in any team game, I will kind of gravitate towards that. Sometimes I'll go towards support, but that's a different thing altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So in that mindset, when I'm competing, I like to be the one that makes the difference, even if most of the time I'm letting my team down by being shit.
But when you do
Yeah,
win,
yeah,
you're killing
exactly.
it.
I like making the difference against my team.
You're the deciding factor either way.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the reason my team lost, but I'm happy that I was the one that did something.
When they're like,
yeah,
yo,
I mean-
Alex, you probably should have been on the point. You're like, yeah, but if I had gotten those
But if I had
kills,
gotten all 6 of those kills,
we would have won. You should,
real
honestly,
talk,
you should be thanking me.
I've been that guy where I'm go to do something stupid. I play D.Va in Overwatch, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get
I'm
a
going
fat
in.
ultimate real
Yeah.
quick,
yeah.
and then end up killing
You
no
waste
one.
it, kills
Yeah.
no one, and
Kills
the
no
team's
one.
like, what the fuck?
Switch characters.
But yeah, I'm all about making those big plays, and it's fun when it works.
It is super fun. It's just very satisfying.
Yeah.
Because
So,
you're like, I'm so fucking good.
Yeah. To supplement that, since I didn't really get a real TF2 match in, I played a game of Counter-Strike Go competitive,
Wow.
which on the flip side, because TF2 is a game I played over 3,000 hours of, and I'm very knowledgeable with.
It's
I
also
played-
very I don't mean to say this. I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's very expansive. There's tons of bullshit in TF2.
Yeah, competitive, a lot of that bullshit is not allowed.
Really?
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
I would assume it's
a lot
like
of
pretty bare
most
bones.
unlocks are not allowed.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. I was gonna say
And, there's class limits on anything that would make the game slower.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, right.
I
so
feel like the unlocks would kind of unbalance the game. Like they weren't really made with that stuff. in
well,
mind.
basically, the mindset with competitive TF2 is anything that slows the game down, people don't like.
Okay.
And a lot of the side grades slow the game down. But yeah, so there are some unlocks that are allowed, like the crit scree that gives medic a crit uber charge is a big thing that people use. So to contrast that, I played a game that I know next to nothing about, but I've always wanted to kind of get into. So Counter-Strike Go. That's a game that...
Well, you used to play Overwatch competitive too, right?
Just the in-game competitive mode,
Yeah.
it's not that serious. Like, I never, like, got into that to the point where I wanted to improve. I just did it because, like, I can get a gold gun and I get more semi-serious matches.
Right.
CSGO is a game I've always wanted to get good at.
What
like,
separates it from other first-person shooters? Like, if you've never played Counter-Strike, why does anyone care about it? It's just modern guns shooting at terrorists on desert maps.
Hell yeah, brother.
One of the reasons that it appeals to me is because it's a very clear game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially like in hindsight now, contrasting it with Overwatch, watching both of those games at a high level is completely different, even though they're both technically FPS games, team-based FPS games.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike is so clean. It makes a lot of sense.
It's like level, like how do you even describe it? It's round based.
Yes.
But there's like goal in the round,
Yeah,
and the rounds are super short, right?
Basically, you are either a team that has to plant a bomb or a team that has to defend the bomb. If you're defending, you want to make sure they don't plant. If you're attacking, you want to put the bomb down.
It's almost like goals in soccer, almost. Like,
Yeah,
it's a weird. It's hard to describe. The
Of
feeling
all
of
the
it.
games that are, and I'm air quoting, esports games, I think Counter-Strike makes some of the most sense. Because trying to watch League or Dota is incomprehensible to anyone who has not played those video games.
It was like the original esport, was it not? Or no?
Quake.
Yeah.
Quake. Oh
Quake.
yeah.
Yeah, Quake was fucking huge.
But that's
also
something that's...
also the beginning of speedrunning in a competitive sense.
Yeah. But
Never
that's
Quake
something
done
that...
quick.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
first, and then classic, then
That's
awesome,
yeah.
then
That's something that kind of brought me into the game. Like, not I don't care too much for like very realistic games, but like it was the fact that it was very clean. It looked very learnable. You have a handful of guns that do very clear things, and it all comes down to basically like knowing what the guns do, knowing what the map does, and knowing like where you should be looking or where people can come from.
What I really like is it very much rewards, in a sense, it very much rewards like reactions, hand-eye coordination, and knowledge, just like of the meta.
I
Like,
think
people
it's-
know which lanes to look
Yeah, it's
down.
like, oh, he thinks I'm gonna come from this way, but I'm gonna go this way.
Or
It's
just
like
knowing,
the reverse.
or just knowing usually there's a lot of traffic down this hallway, I'm going to peek and do a warning shot down here because I know chances are there's somebody coming down here.
Yeah.
this guy is
Some-
not going to check this corner.
Some crazy stuff about high level CS:GO is like people would just you just put your crosshair where you know someone's going to peek. And
Yeah,
it's like
wow.
it's like like if he puts his head right there, I'll just headshot him and kill him because I know
That's
that
sick.
if somebody's going to peek this, they're going to be here. So I'm going to put the most of my body behind this box as I can, and
I like that. It's cool, and knowing like the spread pattern is always the same for the gun. So it's like I know this gun kicks to the left, I'm going to counteract
That's the
that.
stuff that's crazy.
yeah.
To me.
So if you ever see like really like high level CS:GO or even mid level CS:GO, people who know their guns, like the AK is one of the most popular guns. But people will know like when it recoils, it goes up and to the left, I think. So you like shoot for a little while on photo, then you look down and to the right, and like that's how you make it work. But it's a really appealing game, and I played one competitive match, and I'm on the shitter low tier because I've never played competitive in CS:GO, and it was very fun. My team wasn't very good, and I had probably double the kills of anybody else on my team.
Look at you, guy.
Well, pro gamer.
We still lost because our team wasn't good, but it was fun just to be with a team that I knew.
I knocked over a Predator action figure in my room. I'm being too on brand right now. Sorry, listeners.
Check off your Cam accidentally makes
Yeah.
loud noise square on your bingo card.
But when it came down to the competition, it was fun to kind of have a camaraderie with a team that I didn't know, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew they didn't know what they were doing, and it was fun to be like, I got a couple kills and then died. Like, let's see if we can win this round. Like, it was.
That's fun.
Nobody really talked on mic, but I was like, he crossed main or whatever, or like he's going to B, go check B, and then like we won probably 5 out of the 20 rounds.
Yeah, that's still fun,
But
though.
it was like every time it was a win, it was satisfying because we were the underdogs.
Yeah.
And we still lost,
Yeah.
but
Oh my god. There's something that happens in Destiny a lot is someone will drop out because the game sucks. So like it's a 4v4 competitive game, and then someone drops out, so it's 3v4. They literally just don't fill that in most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you beat the other team like in one round, you have like to be very timely. You have the big dick energy. Like your whole team's gonna taunt, and you're gonna act like you're fucking big shots for the rest of the match, even if you lose. You're like, yeah, but we're 3 people, and we beat you 1 time. Like you guys fucking suck. But that's always fun.
What's cool is that in certain games you almost have an advantage when you have like a smaller team like that. I remember in Rainbow Six, I would kind of be stoked if somebody like on my team left, because I'm like, all right, there's less of us to just get killed now. It's like they're looking.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
No, that's the way I see it. I'm like, they're going to be looking more so for us, but we're going to be.
They're going to be looking for 5 dudes, and there's only 4.
Yeah, no, it's kind of work on big maps.
Yeah, on big maps, they're going to be checking all these places. Most of the time, we're not going to be there, and we'll be able to see them check out these places and then take them out. Same thing with like Call of Duty. I remember just being like, well, if we have to get to the certain amount of kills, unless they're working well as a team, they're not going to be able to, team wipe us and have it
Xbox
have as much
Live. I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're too busy racially
Yeah,
race crimes.
too busy disparaging my mother's sexuality.
My friends and I definitely played against SEAL Team 6 in Rainbow Six Siege. So
I mean, they're online.
It's a simulator. That's where
They got nothing to do anymore.
Yeah.
They did it.
They already got him.
It's all right.
But playing. I mean, I've always liked playing competitive video games, so it was fun to try out something new. I probably will play some more competitive CS:GO in the future. So,
all right.
Here we go.
Nice.
Seb, how was your competitive experience?
Oh, are we skipping you?
Well, you were falling
raised
asleep
your
over
hand
there,
twice.
so
No, I was just bored.
Now you can be not bored.
Yeah.
What are you,
Yeah.
our listeners?
I don't have
Yeah.
anything to say about CS:GO. I don't play CS:GO. So what I did, a little bit of background. I have never really liked competitive games.
I like this though, because we're getting like all of the mindset. We're getting the I don't want to compete because if I lose it's bad from Cam.
Yep.
We're getting
I want to be the hero.
yeah, we're getting we're getting a great
I want to be the guy.
Yeah, I want to be the guy from Alex.
And George, who is a regular competitor.
And Seb, you're from someone who does it. We're all brain diseased.
yeah,
You're not like
No, I
You're the
actively
normal one.
don't
Yeah.
like
This
competition.
is. I don't want to spoil anything, but this is the point of the show.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
know.
something that you got to talk about.
I know.
Yeah.
So I mean, I used to play 2-player games with my brother all the time when we were younger, but they were never like super competitive games. It was always I'm distracted by Cam taking a panoramic.
I don't know how to do that.
He's Snapchatting.
yeah.
I'm
He's gonna
promoting
send
the
it to
show,
people that
guys.
are in this
Yeah.
room.
But yeah, so it was always like 2-player Sonic Adventure 2 or 2-player Mario Kart, which I do enjoy it. Like I think the only like competitive air quotes games that I like really are like Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not even that intense.
You can
But-
make anything intense.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But
We
I've
made
seen
Monkey
some-
Target intense.
We did. That's the thing. Like, George and I and a couple of the people who are not in this room have a habit of making things that are not competitive into competitions, just because of our own big dick egos. Like, oh, this game that was made for children. It's all right. Well, I bet I can do this faster than you. I bet I can wall jump up this thing in Mario Sunshine better than you. Or I will unlock all the characters in Mario Tennis faster than you, or whatever. It's just like, hey, I'm in the room with this person. Let's make this into a dumb contest.
yeah, but yeah. So anything I played competitively is normally just a party game and not like anything that's supposed to be competitive. Anything that really requires any amount of skill. Because I just don't like that. I like playing with people and not against people.
Mm-hmm. It's a very world peace kind of mindset. Unfortunately, you are all going to be eaten alive by our competitive mindset.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have, as we said in the beginning of the show, I have 2 sticks. And what are you going to do about that? 2 sticks, bigger cave.
But yeah, so actually,
I thought we were talking about fight sticks.
I had I had a
do have 2 of
couple
those.
job interviews last week, and they had a question. It was, "Are you more of an individualist or a team player?" I'm like, I like people. I like to work with them. Please don't put me in a hole and tell me to do things by myself.
Oh.
I mean, I can do my own thing, but I'm definitely team player, not
especially if you're
competitive.
doing like work, it's
Yeah.
actually
Oh, yeah.
it's so much better to have
Oh,
some
yeah.
type of
Yeah,
camaraderie.
it's
Yeah,
a little
that-
bit of
that
a
doesn't
different
work
situation,
as,
but
like-
that's like my whole thing
Yeah.
all around. So I cheated a little bit. I did not play a video game.
That's not
no,
we
that's
weren't
not cheating.
Yeah, because
No.
Cam didn't play a video game,
Yeah,
but he
but he
also
was planning
didn't
on playing a video
know.
game.
I sent something to the New Yorker.
That's still a good competition. There's a winner and a loser.
So there's a thing going on right now called Art Fight, and it's this thing that happens every year
It
in
does kind
July.
of sound like a video game, though, to be honest.
It does.
Yeah.
Hot new indie title, Art Fight.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
If Tyler listened to the show, he would love that.
It happens in July every year, and it's basically so people on the site get sorted into two teams. Normally, it's like it kind of like throws you into a team, so they're both even.
Rebalances.
Yeah, and so it is pretty balanced the whole time. And you post up your characters up there, and people from the other team will attack you by drawing your characters, right?
Do they like
And-
draw dicks in their mouths and stuff like that, or
Giant
can do
noses,
that.
giant noses, and like a cartoon mustache drawn on top.
Yeah,
like, look how
you can
old
do
this
that.
guy's character
But,
is.
Whoa, I didn't know your OC was a Nazi. Ha ha
XD.
Make
God.
your character
But
problematic.
it calculates points for every piece that you do based on, is it a sketch, is it clean, is it detailed, is it, flat colors, or is it shaded, is it animated even?
That's
you know?
really interesting.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
it
cool.
calculates points for your team based on how much effort you put into that piece of art. So, and then you can defend by like revenging attacks by, this person attacked me with art, I'll attack them with art. And so the whole thing is basically just do your best to get points for your team so your team can win.
That's you boiled competition down to its bare essentials.
Yeah. But it's really, it doesn't feel that competitive, and I've always liked drawing other people's characters. I have a large host of my own OCs. They're not fan characters. They're
Did anyone end up
original.
drawing yours?
Not yet. But it lasts the whole month. So far I've done like 3.5 of them. I did a chicken. Because somebody just put up, like, instead of a character, it was draw a chicken. So I drew a chicken.
It's a great way to get people to draw what you want without
Yeah.
it's
I was like, I'll draw a fucking chicken. Like, I don't care.
you fell right into that guy's trap.
Yeah. And then there was this like cute little like kind of bird race person. He was really adorable. He's like a thief, and his name is Frisk.
Is he a
And
thief because he's of the bird race?
That's problematic.
Is that a stereotype?
no, he's like a bad thief, and I wanted to do like another little doodle of him because apparently he's really bad at it because he likes to sing his own theme song. So I wanted to do one like him collaborating with Kronk, just like.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And then another one that was like their persona, which I'm being a little bit selective. Like I won't do like certain kinds of fan characters.
Standards have no place in competition. You have to
Listen.
win by any
Listen.
means necessary.
There's
I will
moral
draw
standards.
that guy's skunk OC. If
I'll draw
if
his
it
skunk
will help me
OC.
win.
JJ
No, I
Steak.
did.
Dark
I
Edge
did.
the Hedgehog needs
I'm
his
okay
time.
with personas.
This hog all capitalized his wieners out.
I'm okay with personas, so I did this one. And it's like this void dog. Like he's basically just a silhouette with eyes. So I did him.
Mr. Game & Watch?
Yeah.
He's
Mr.
my
Dog and
persona.
Watch. My watch Sona. So I did him, and the person replied. They left a comment. They were like, "I love you." I thought that was the
Whoa.
cutest thing in the world. So it's for me. It's been really rewarding, and I've been selective. I've been doing things that, like the person who has this character has drawn them, and they're not really that great. So I'm like, oh, I'll give them some really nice art
You're
of their
owning
character.
them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Destroying
fucking
their
destroying their
shitty
shit.
drawing. Like, look,
Yeah.
chump.
Yeah,
This is
that's-
how you
done.
Put
that's
your
kind of
colored
how-
pencils away and let
Yeah.
real artists handle it.
Yeah, it's kind of
That
like
bitch.
both of
Put the
those
math
things. Like
notebook
I'll
away,
give them some
bitch.
nice art, and I'll fucking shit all over
Yeah,
them.
you're real win.
Yeah.
Win this gift.
Yep.
As the great competitor Sun Tzu once said, kill them with kindness.
Yeah. Basically, that's
And then he
that's
said,
my
eat, pray,
thing.
love.
Yep.
And then he said, be the change that you want to see in the world.
That's what I'm doing. And I'm also trying not to
Carry
do,
on.
if somebody's already gotten the art of that character that's actually pretty good, I'll skip over them. Because
Right.
I want people who haven't been, had their stuff drawn to get their stuff drawn.
Mhm.
But, I think I'm doing pretty good. I've done like 3.5. I've got plans for at least like 4 more. I want to do like at least 1 a day for the whole month.
How many points are you getting for your things?
The most I've gotten for one is like 11.5 points, and I'm averaging like 7.5 points.
So
which
what's
is
the
still pretty
scale
good.
for it? Like how can you see yourself making a noticeable difference, or how many people can really contribute to
Oh,
this?
there's like thousands of points in each team right now.
Mhm.
I just copied
So-
Picasso and I got like 1 billion points.
You drew
Picture of my-
Picasso's OC?
I took a picture of my
Super
ear.
easy.
I don't know.
So random.
Uh,
Sorry, you guys.
That was Monet. Excuse you.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
What?
Was it fun to like? Were you when you're drawing the characters? Are you like really focused on doing things that you know will help you get points, or are you just drawing them just like in your style, just in general?
I'm just drawing them in my style in general, but like doing it up like so it looks pretty finished.
Making, like extra clean.
Yeah, extra
Yeah.
clean, not super overworked, like not a really nice finished piece because that would take me forever.
Yeah.
Like you've seen the thing I did for Tyler. You might have seen some other thing. Yeah, the thing I did for anything I did for you guys for Christmas. Those are like way more finished than the things I'm doing for
Yeah.
for Art Fight.
Yeah, Cam is pointing to pieces of art that Seb has done in this room that are,
Yeah.
all fantastic, extremely produced. Like, things that would take way too much time. If you're doing it for a contest where the point is to do a lot
are
of
billion
art.
point works. if I
These
do
are
say
billion
so
point
myself.
works, but they don't grade on, like, quality as much as they grade on, like, how much you're putting out.
Yeah, I think it really, like, they're not judging you on your skill level. They're judging you on the effort you put in.
It sounds like it's a good motivator. Like I
Yeah.
wish there was something like that for stuff that I'm like art type things that I'm interested in. Like
There might be
writing.
somewhere.
There probably is, but it's like, oh, if I do this, even though it's an arbitrary reward, I'm getting a reward and I'm making progress. And I'm not just making something and it goes like, especially when it comes to art and like digital art. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I drew this. If I don't print it or like set it as my desktop background, I probably won't look at this for a while.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's
I go back and
a
look
little
at
bit more
stuff
of a
in my
motivation.
folders all the time, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, remember that thing? Oh, that's really ugly. Oh, I still like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far the reward for me is less helping my team to win, as it is helping like the people on the site to get nice art.
Yep.
And get the reward is really that comment of "I love you." But
That I love you is worth 1 billion points.
dude, it like they didn't even say anything else about the art. They were like they just saw their persona drawn and they were like, "I love you."
It's a much more like wholesome
I see my
reason to
persona,
compete.
I
Yeah,
clap.
a lot more wholesome. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna try to keep doing it through like the entire month, up until it closes, and not just for this podcast because I'm having so much fun with it. Like I want to try to do at least one a day, maybe one every other day if I'm busy. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I like it, but I don't like
It
competing
sounds
in
rad.
video games.
I've never heard of something like that.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to close it out because George was very broad in his language of what he wanted everyone to do, but I know what he
Yeah,
really
you know what he
wants.
really
Yeah, that's why I said I cheated.
No.
So,
I guess said you guys could go play the pickup game of basketball or something.
Yeah,
I'd be
but
down
we
with that.
know what you really
Dick
want.
picked up a game, but it wasn't basketball.
Yeah. Okay, so slight bit of backstory. There is a local that plays competitive video games every week in Connecticut, but it is on the ass end of the state, and it's pretty far, and I have not taken the
Which ass end
time.
of the state?
The middle.
The north, the middle ass of the state.
Center butt.
Center
Yes.
butt of the centrist ass of the state. Not wanting to pick a side, but
Describe
anyway.
Gonna.
Political alert.
Done that in a while.
this is Citations Needed, a much better podcast than ours.
Welcome to our alt-right podcast.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Cam's gonna clip that out the next time we ask him to edit
Oh my
something.
You don't
god.
have to ask me to do it.
So, I drove an hour to a video game competition that I mistakenly believed to be Street Fighter.
This was partially my fault. I told them with so much confidence because when I used to go to this local, every single Tuesday they had Street Fighter and Melee at the same time. And then...
Yeah. And
did you walk in with a stick and everyone hissed at you?
They did. They all sort of turned around with their GameCube controllers clicking, and they're like, "What is that?"
Melee players think fighter games are cool. Controller.
Yeah.
We'll cook.
Anyway, I was there. I was going to play some Street Fighter. I was really excited for it, even though I haven't been able to play Street Fighter at home because this Camp Center PS4 melted. I have pretty good muscle memory for it. I thought, hey, well, I'll be able to meet some other people who play this game. It'll be fun. I walk in there. He's like, "Oh, sorry, dude. Street Fighter's every other week. Today it's only Melee." But,
I had no idea.
But because I knew that this place mostly did Smash Brothers, I had brought GameCube controllers anyway because I figured there would be downtime where there was not Street Fighter going on, and I wanted to meet people who played Smash Brothers. So luckily I was prepared. I didn't have to use the house controller that has, like...
Boogers on it.
Mad Cat's controller.
That has big... the one that has Big League Chew and the C stick.
Makes it better.
So I got to sit down and I got to play this game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, with a lot of people. The game that has people have been playing for, at this point, 16, 17 years.
Fucking wild.
Yeah, competitively, and no one ever gets tired of it. New people get into it all the time, and I understand why. The game is a lot of fun. It's something that I would play with Cam casually, more and more competitively. Recently, we've just been having fun with it, but I never have gone to a tournament of this game. I've only ever been to like 2 tournaments ever before, and it was neither of them were for Smash. So it was a different environment. It was like, hey, this is something that I've done in a basement with my friends before, but I've never gone out and really competed with it. But because it was a game I haven't really focused on, and one that I did not think that we were actually going to be playing. I mean, and also because I was up against people who were much better than me. Let's not discount that. I got my shit kicked in, and not just my shit kicked in. Like because there were only about 12 people there this time. They were like, well, hey, we could do a round robin.
There were 12 people there?
Yes.
That's what locals are, right?
Well, the grid is a lot smaller than the big Connecticut one is Hall of Gaming, and they usually have like
Where the fuck is that?
Wallingford.
Oh, Jesus
I've never
Christ.
even heard of that.
I go to both sometimes.
That's gotta be, the top left of the state? As far away from this as possible?
That's the one that happens now, actually, on Thursdays. I used to go to those until this podcast ruined me. No, I'm kidding. But that one, the grid...
You can just cancel the show, dude. If you want to cancel the show. All right.
Wallingford locals, come on the show.
Okay, so this... God, what the fuck was I talking about?
The 12 people there. And they
12 people there. So normally it would be a knockout format where if you lose one match, you get knocked into losers. You lose the second match, you're gone. Double elimination, like George said.
Winners
but because they had 12 people, they're like, oh, we don't have a ton of people. Why don't we just do a round robin for the first round? Everyone gets to play everyone else, or everyone gets to play most everyone else. You still get sorted after the first match.
How many setups were there?
There were 7 setups.
Oh wow!
And it was being streamed, which means listeners, if you would like to look at the Great Value Smash stream, you can watch me get cooked. Like, you can watch me get cooked in a Ganon mirror match.
Link in bio.
Someone else plays Ganon?
Yes. So this guy plays Marth, and I sit down and I pick Ganon, and he's like, oh my god, I have to play you in the Ganon mirror. And he also picks
people do that.
He picks the same heavy, bad, terrible character that I have, and he destroys me with him. And I learned a lot from that match, but also like I wasn't expecting it, wasn't really thinking about it, that sort of thing.
Of course, he plays Marth too.
Yeah, of course he plays Marth too.
Plays one good character.
I got to see people play characters that I've never faced another human being that plays them. I got to play an Ice Climbers that was really good.
God!
There was a Samus that was really good.
Did you get wobbled?
I did not get wobbled,
Actually,
but I got a bunch
matchup
of
for
other
Ganon,
stuff done to me that using Ice Climbers mechanics where, because Ice Climbers are 2 characters, it's a 2-on-1 match, it's unfair, but they one of the Ice Climbers can grab you and then the other can hit you, and then the second that you get released from the first grab, the second one grabs you, and keeps going indefinitely.
And that's known as wobbling.
And that is known as wobbling.
To be honest, that's not a bad matchup though for Ganondorf because he's pretty good at separating the two and killing Nana. But
so how was your competitive mindset during this?
My competitive mindset, I've always been kind of a competitive person. I realize it more and more as time goes on, like just how much I enjoy competing and getting into the mindset of, oh, I sure would love, like, I think George said this earlier in the show. We were talking about eventually when you're competing with something for a while, you stop trying to beat your opponent and start trying to beat yourself. And then Alex said, yeah, dude, same. And that's how I feel. I want to improve. And that's always been it hasn't always been my goal. I used to get really salty when I wouldn't win. And I'd be like, I would have the Cam mindset of like, if I didn't win, then what's the point? Then this time was wasted. But now I realize, like, no, the fun part is competing, and then if you get better, if you learn something from the match, it doesn't matter if you lose. In fact, matches where you win and you don't learn anything have less value to me now.
Yeah.
Of like,
it's like, oh, I could have beat that guy, and it doesn't matter.
I could have beat that guy with my eyes closed. I didn't learn anything new about the game. I didn't learn anything new about myself or my opponent or anything, so who cares?
I still like those because I'm like, I did pretty sick combo there. Like, it makes me feel better that like my execution was on point. It's not only, usually it's like, oh, this guy's really bad, but it's like, this guy's really bad, but I'm fucking good. I'm pretty good.
You really stop them, then that's a different story.
Yeah.
I've always been that way about competition.
So were you nervous going into this? I mean, 12 people, it's not really.
No, it was very casual, and something that I would do is before I sat down, I would talk to everyone there. I asked them, hey, how'd you get into this game? Do you come here all the time? I sat down like I was trying to fucking hit on them. Hey, do you come here often? Oh, how long you been doing this?
Oh, let me get you a drink.
Who you playing? Let me get you a drink. Let me get you a $1 soda from the fridge that's in here.
I hit this hard when I go there.
Yeah, exactly. I did too. I was just trying to make sure I didn't fall asleep on the ride home.
Yeah.
I did not go without winning a match, which astonished me. I could not believe that I won a match, and then I played the guy.
Ganon,
I played the guy later after it got to top 4, and
You got to top 4?
No.
Oh, he got to top 4.
He did not. No. After the tournament got to top 4, because then all the people who were losers, like you only need to use a couple setups for that, so there's space freed up to play like casual matches. And I played this guy later, and he was doing way better. And this guy must have been so nervous when he was facing me because he missed easy things. He jumped to his death multiple times.
Who's he playing?
Captain Falcon. So it's SDs are a part of the game. Like self-destruct. He's like, that's what happens.
That's me when I'm even playing online though. I get super I feel like I don't perform as well online.
It's weird. I get more nervous online.
Oh, I get way more nervous online than I am playing against another human. Playing against another human, all the pressure is off. It's like, hey man, how are you doing?
Yeah.
What's up?
I could just kill them in real life if I lose.
Right next.
My thing is like,
I can follow this dude home. There's no consequences.
I get nervous offline too, but I get more nervous online because I'm like, I know if this guy wins, he's gonna think he's fucking good, and I know he's not, and I'm like.
You can't tell him he's actually bad.
Well, I don't even tell him. I just don't want them to.
You could be like, "Yeah, you beat me, but you're bad."
A big fear of mine is for somebody to. A big fear of mine is for somebody to steal my points, if you will. Like they beat me in one game and then they leave immediately, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I was figuring you out before, so
yeah.
That's something that like I hate the most about playing online is. When I lose to someone, I want to figure out why I lost. So I want to go again and again and again and again and again. And some of my friends have shown frustration with this because they're like, dude, I already beat you. I know I kicked your dick in. Like, let's do something else.
Yeah.
But I just want to keep going and going and going. But online, if they beat you, they're like, all right, that's enough. I took your points. I took your theoretical fake honor, and now I
walk over to their giant whiteboard and they mark another one down.
I have been that guy though. I have been that guy though. When the DC Comics fighting game Injustice came out, I played for a little bit. I learned the systems, and I'm like, I am going to jump online and play some online video game fighting. And I get on there, and it's just a bunch of kids who saw that the game had Batman on it, and they log on, and I am there doing like frame traps and stupid looking combos on them from half screen, and people are rage quitting on me, and I'm just like, this isn't fair or fun.
I told you about like around Christmas time when
oh, that's my favorite thing. So listeners, if you want to be a bully, play a game that you really like, and then wait until Christmas happens.
This happens for any game too.
Any
This
game,
you can
any
play
game
Call
with,
of Duty.
any game with an online community.
Fighting
And you
games
wait-
is pretty fun.
Yeah, you wait for people to get the game for Christmas, and then December 26th, you hop
Their
right
new
on that
console
shit.
that they're just
their brand
unwrapped,
new
hooked
console.
up their
They're
internet.
like- yeah.
Don't know where the buttons are on the controller.
Little
like,
Jimmy
I
wants
sure-
to play his favorite character, Hulk, in Mega Man, and then I'm there with Dante and Spider-Man with frame traps up the ass.
Yep.
Like, press the button, Jimmy. Do
It's
it.
the old make this kid return the game.
Yeah.
Make the kid return the game to GameStop. I did that also when
It's
Dragon
broken.
Ball came
Yeah.
out.
I keep
Oh,
losing
Dragon Ball.
online.
I think Dragon Ball was my most favorite experience of
Yeah.
make the kid return the game.
Yeah, so I was like, oh man, this kid, he saw Goku on the cover, he's like, Mom, I want that game, and I'm sitting here with
Playing
like
fucking
yeah,
Nappa.
I'm sitting here with like a tie tied around my forehead like it's Ryu's headband, with my sleeves rolled up, and I've had practice in the beta, and I know one combo, and I'm like, I'm here to demolish you. I'm here to
Guys are
break your
fucking
spirit.
Cruel.
No, it's just you have to do it. You have to.
You have
It's not a real person.
Seb,
They're online.
That goes for us too. We're not real people. We're online.
The way I see
We're
it
so
is-
online, guys.
Yeah.
I see it the way,
Absolutely
the
logged in.
problematic way Tyler Creator sees cyberbullying is if you're getting mad at the game, just turn it off. It's just,
Walk
I'm
away,
happy
dude.
to be the guy to make
Dude,
you
walk
turn it
away,
off,
dude. Walk to GameStop and return it if you're so
Yeah.
mad against
It's not a
Exactly.
book. Shut it off.
Go outside, nerd. But, okay, sorry, continue, Nick.
Yeah. No, I don't have that much more to say. I really enjoy getting competitive, but this was a new experience to me.
Yeah.
Because you accidentally forced me to do the thing that you're supposed to do for the podcast and try something new, because I've already gone to a fighting game tournament for a game that I've practiced, but I've never gone to a tournament for a game that I have not even tried to practice in,
Which
and
I'm
made
really
a bunch of
sorry
new
about.
friends, and like...
Everyone there's the homies.
Yeah, these people were all very nice to me. They were all extremely considerate. A lot of people would talk to me after the match, say, "Hey, I know you're new at this." Oh, I don't know how they could tell, but maybe it's 'cause-
Ganon's bad.
Yeah, maybe you should pick a better character.
My first piece of Smash advice was I was using Sonic. I
Oh,
actually
yeah.
played against a Ganondorf who later on was the best Ganondorf in the world, or maybe not the world, maybe in the US. But he obviously fucking watched me. I'm like 15, and he literally just like pulls me aside. He's like, "Hey man, you're pretty good. Just don't use Sonic." And I was like, "Well, you're using Gan." He's like, "Yeah, but what? I'm
fucking nasty.
yeah,
I'm good."
Essentially, he was like, "Yeah, but I'm like good," and I
That
was
is
like,
honestly half of that anyway is one of the best things you can do to anyone is if you see
That's
someone
infuriating.
starting out something new, you just go up to them and say, "Hey, you did really good." Like
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
stand up, I do that a lot with like people who are clearly just starting. Like, "Oh, you had some," and that helped me when I first started out. Like some guy gave me some terrible advice, but he told me I was also good, and
Yeah.
that helps. It
That's
has
the first time
really
I,
nice-
I tanked a dungeon, like a random dungeon in WoW. Like I was shit. I was like, where the fuck am I going?
Yeah.
Where are these guys coming from? I have no idea. And at the end of the at the end of the thing, one of them whispered me, and they were like, "Was that your first time doing tanking a dungeon?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Oh, you did pretty good."
Yeah.
But I'm like, I was like thinking, if I said no, what the fuck was he gonna
Oh,
say
he
to
was
me?
about to-
It's like,
yeah.
just
What-
uninstall.
What is it? DDoS? How do you? What's that
Yeah.
called?
Yeah, DDoS.
You
Yeah,
guys gonna DDoS?
What are you saying, George?
"You
Oh, yeah.
Finish up.
So yeah, one other thing is
I
that
got some.
this is not the only thing I've competed in. It's not just video games. I used to enter writing competitions all the time when I was in high school. I got published a couple of times because of it, but I will not tell any of you what that is because what
I haven't.
I got published. Yeah, Seb unfortunately knows.
It's in the New Yorker.
I'm trying to get her executed for
Yeah,
this
rights
knowledge.
conflict in New York,
They fucking suck.
I have all those.
Yeah, I wrote the bad opinion piece that Cam's caption is going next to.
Oh fuck! I just get used in some racist.
Oh my god."
This new policy is racist, and here's why that's good.
Those kids are criminals.
Jesus Christ.
At New
Okay.
Yorker.
Them being alive is a crime. I would also, something that I've done every year for years now is I've done a 5K for charity. But I don't care about the charity. I just want to
Dude,
beat
just
people.
give 5K to charity.
Well, why would I do that when I can beat a bunch of people who trained in the police academy at a race?
Nice.
And that's
probably does feel really good.
it's so much fun. I like do like that's we focused around competition around video games almost this whole episode, but I just want to say that the feeling and the thrill of competition is still fun, whether you're doing it just like an anonymous contest, whether you're doing it in an online drawing competition, whether you're doing it, it's get out there and just try to beat someone at something, whether it's with a team.
Fucking wreck it.
No, it's actually super fun. I went 4-0 in Can Jam this weekend, and I had the biggest wiener of all time. Just like, I bet you can't fucking throw a frisbee into a can while I'm
Slap it down, bitch.
All right, remember, listeners, the point is not to destroy your opponent and make them regret ever knowing you. The point
It's just like a
is
perk.
the point. Yeah, that's just a perk. It's just like it's nice. It's nice to have that. But
What is to do that while gloating?
what you want is to recognize that you are improving, and that is what makes competition fun in my eyes. George, please close this out so I can go the fuck to bed.
Okay, so I'm just going to run through what I did real quick. I actually, funny enough, haven't been to a competition since like maybe January, maybe early March. I was supposed to go to a big tournament at the Mohegan Sun Casino, but my appendix kind of shat the bed, blew up a little bit. It actually didn't blow up, but
fix her up a little bit.
yeah,
Right before it blew up.
yeah, right before it blew up. It was actually a time bomb, but we got it out of there. No worries.
It was
Man.
going to turn into a girl and become a horse.
Yeah.
Callback.
So what ended up happening
Yeah,
though
yeah,
was
someday.
I haven't been in any tournaments in a long time, even though I started playing this game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, back in 2015. It was my regular senior year of college. Not to be confused with my super senior year. And I started playing it competitively, got washed pretty quickly. Like, started off going 0-2 a lot, then I worked my way up to 1-2, and then inside the college brackets, I was able to get to like 3-2 sometimes, maybe 4-2. Hit like a loser's quarters once. It was pretty sweet. But I've been playing it a lot, like for 3 years straight. Essentially, I still will go off to the side on like a CRT and practice little tech skill things here and now. But I went to a tournament in North Providence. Also, shout out to Great Value Smash. You definitely should check them out if you're into video games. They have Street Fighter tournaments every other Tuesday. Now I know. Melee's every Tuesday, I believe. And then they have like Smash 4 tournaments, and they have Project M too is their bigger thing. But I went to a tournament in North Providence with these guys that like I started going to their tournaments when I started to work because I work in Rhode Island, and they're smaller than they're bigger than Grid, but they're smaller than Hall of Gaming in Wallingford, Connecticut. And I can't remember the name of the organization, but the TO there is super cool. He's like what Cam was saying. It's one of the best things you do when somebody's new is to tell them that they did a good job. He makes me want to come back because after every tournament, he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to seed you right. You did some damage today. Good shit. Come back." And I'm like,
Oh, that's sick.
"No, it makes me
really
feel
sweet of
good."
him.
Yeah, it does make
Yeah.
me feel good. Like the first time I went, he seeded me last, and then I ended up round 1 taking a game off the dude who went on to win the tournament that was seeded first.
Wow.
And the dude pulled me aside. He's like, "Where are you seated?"
fucking up my whole shit.
No, he literally was just like, "Where were you seated?" And I was like, I don't know. I never been here, so I don't know how he seated me. I told him I played for a while, and he goes, "Oh, let's go check." And he was like, "Yeah, I should not have played you round 1. You shouldn't be in losers round 1. You're gonna fuck up the bracket." But in like a nice way though. That tournament, I didn't win any money at that one. I went like 4-2, but this one I also went 4-2 in, but which I was pretty happy. This is the amateur bracket though, which I used to run when I used to go to these tournaments more often. My friends from my college, UConn, they were pretty good, but I was always a little bit below them. So I deemed myself the best of the worst kids, or the worst of the best kids. And the joke is that's kind of where my school was in general for Melee. It's like we had some really good kids, but we weren't.
Somebody
like,
literally said that to me at the tournament that I went to. They were
Oh,
yeah, all the Yukon kids would come here and clean up, but still get like beaten by like the best people here.
That's exactly what happened.
And then they all graduated.
Yeah.
That was what he said.
What's funny is I feel bad because the kids that are my age, the kids that are my age from UConn that have been playing for like a fucking long time, and like my friend Matt and Keith, they were like number 6 and 7 in Connecticut or something like that at the time. So they would come and they would just wash everyone. The people in Providence, I talked to them and they were like, "Yeah, I remember them. They came here about 2 years ago. Pretty much would come, make a bunch of jokes, beat us, take our money, and leave." And it was like, sounds like them. Oh, I love those guys. But yeah, so my friends and I, we joke, we always say like UConn runs amateur bracket because we're good, but we're not really good. And that's exactly what happened when I go to Providence.
Amateur bracket kings.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I was amateur bracket king. I would hit first, like I only got first once, but basically it was like I would get up to like grands or winners or losers finals, and then I would lose to somebody that is just barely eligible to be an amateurs, and then but everyone else that was a common amateur dude, just smack him up. But I was very nervous. Just like I said before, this is my first tournament in a while, and I was like, oh god, I know if I go 0-2, I'm gonna be so mad at myself for no reason, because it's like first tournament in a while. I should have been practicing more. But I did well. I was happy with how I did in amateur bracket. I went 2-2 regular bracket, which was my goal. I was like, as long as I'm still at that level, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And the people that I lost, the first dude I lost to was a Falco, and he was okay. I wasn't warm. I'm gonna admit that. Well, I'm gonna say that.
Really quick I want to talk about fighting is when you lose to someone, you can still say, "Oh, but that guy's bad."
Yeah.
Like, and that's the worst thing.
Well, it's because you knew how you played, and I knew that I played
like-
so sloppy. I was like, there were so many things where I got hit by it, and I was like, I know that he can do that. Why did I do that?
That's a mix-up that comes with improving, is you realize like, oh, I didn't win because he's good. I lost because I'm bad.
Yeah, no,
he is also bad, but I made the mistake.
Worse.
His bad was better than my bad.
Yeah.
It's like we both played bad, but his bad was better. That's what some top-level people say all the time. But I lost to the Falco, which kind of peeved me because I'm like, I used to be good at that matchup or whatever. And then I lost to a Ganon. I have a big losing streak against Ganon that I only just recently rectified. And
he just came over and asked to play me, and
just
hopefully
recently.
100 times.
I mean, by just recently, I mean literally last December. So not that recent. But before that, I lost to like fucking 6 Ganondorfs in a row. It was bad. But this Ganon, he was cool. He had cool setups. He had cool little pressure strings, which I was like, Ganon could do this. His movement was sweet. I was not mad at all when he beat me. When he beat me, I was like, this guy genuinely beat me. He fucked me up. Well, he didn't fuck. It was 2-1.
He was bad.
He didn't fuck you. No, he was
He
good.
wasn't a good player. You know?
The thing is, the way I saw it was he's good, definitely better than me. It's just that he's playing Ganondorf. And that's the only reason why it was somewhat close. But I was very nervous, but I had a lot of fun. I did the one thing that I feel like nobody should do, which is after you beat somebody and they don't ask for advice, you give them advice.
Oh.
Yeah, I right as I was doing it, I noticed I was doing it. But it was because I was playing against this young kid who was playing Peach. And his Peach was good, but he just was doing some dumb shit, and I was like, just float lower when you're doing your aerials, and you could have had that. We had a good set. It was fun.
Fuck you, old man.
No, he was very receptive, which I was glad, because I was like, oh, I hate when people do this to me.
The younger generation will kill us and eat our corpses.
Yeah. And then they're gonna tweet about it.
They are.
Live tweet it.
Whoa. But I had so much fun playing this game. I love this game. I like competing. I like competing if I think I'm playing well, is the main thing. And I felt like I played very well, except against that Falco money match. No, I'm kidding. No, he was alright.
But this was really fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like talking about this.
Yeah.
I know I didn't do a super competitive thing,
You
but
did something, though.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what counts. I thought
yours
I didn't do
worked
anything.
because nobody else talked about, oh, I sure do enjoy competing with a team against somebody and still having a positive experience. Nobody else talked about that. Everyone else was like, boy, I sure do love it when I'm better than someone else.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
the
I
thing
was
to
just
me
talking
is
about
that one of the best things about competitions, you can see your hard work pay off. And in a way, you're seeing all your hard work pay off by how the person saying that they love you after you did the OC.
Exactly. You get a direct response there.
Yeah.
That's why comedy is good, too, because people laugh the second after you say a joke if it's good. So it's like instant results. It's great.
I felt very happy with how I was doing, because I was like, all this work is still carrying me even after I haven't played the game in like 6 months, and that felt super good, because I was like, that means those fucking 6-hour play sessions where we didn't get off until 4 o'clock in the morning and we had class the next day, maybe not worth it, but it paid off in this.
That's feeling a little real to me right now, so I'm gonna do a quick intro.
We'll wrap it up. Yeah.
All right, next episode. So this next loop is going to be again a little different. We all did experiences as this last one, and I'm liking the themed loops so far, so we're going to try and continue it. We'll see if this works out. If it doesn't, we'll transition to something else, it's not too hard. We're not as you've noticed, we're not very committed to the structure of our own show. So I am going to have a friend of the show, coworker Mike Toole on, if I can get him here at a time that works for us. If not, we'll do a mini-sode or we'll record with someone else's guest or something.
Is this the guy that had that very true statement that we're not funny?
No, that's
Okay.
Robert.
Okay.
This
Robert
guy
would never be on a show in a million years.
this guy actually likes our show, so I can't wait to
Whoa.
ruin it for him.
So he has no
He
chance.
doesn't play
Gets
video
to See how the
games.
sausages were made.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He doesn't play video games. He doesn't watch anime, and he has an amazing voice and actual radio experience. He has asked us to listen to an album called "Return to Forever," featuring Chick Corea, Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy, and this is the cover. I'm just gonna show it to all of you.
Wow.
Is that a dick?
Nope.
Nah, I'm
Is that from
kidding.
the
It's a dub.
70s?
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
actually know.
I kind of like that cover.
Oh, that's good. That's Gucci.
He said that this album was made by a crazy Scientologist, and his beliefs show through in the album. So I
Like
think
any
that this
good
will be-
artist.
Any good artist.
Can't wait. Finally, the joke we stole from another podcast, Rough Night Podcast, becomes the show.
Yeah.
Come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show.
Also,
It's
shout out to
official.
Yeah, what people didn't realize is that that's a threat.
Come on the fucking
Yeah.
show, assholes.
yeah, Delaware. Come on the show.
You
We'll
think
beat
you
that
can
ass
do
real quick.
better? Come on the show.
Yeah. So,
Can't wait.
if all goes well, we'll be listening to that next week. We'll have a guest on. This cycle, we're all gonna bring on one of our friends, and they're gonna show us something that we probably wouldn't.
He's
have
not from
done
Delaware,
otherwise.
right?
He's not from Delaware.
Thank
You're
And
you.
good.
whoever
You're
brings
safe.
on the worst guest gets replaced by
I'm
him.
bringing the governor of Delaware.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy.
Alright, so we'll...
Cool.
Yeah. Hymn of the Seventh Galaxy.
See you
So,
next
all right,
time.
yeah, we're gonna see you next time where we listen to a weird Scientologist jazz album. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.